Okay, I have a new location for this story. It's in a shed. I think it's quite apt for this actual story. It's fairly cold in here and it's just been like hailstones hit the ground outside, so it might add to the atmosphere. This story is called Bricks and Mortar. The milk has long since curdled and the dust on the photo has become thick and grey. The spider hasn't moved for months. A small mountain of junk mail lays piled on the floor beneath the letterbox. Only the occasional door-to-door salesman bothers to call. Dampness has set up home within the walls a long time ago, and mildew has befriended the lonely couch. The garage is full of rusting junk, half-used paintings, a bicycle with deflated tyres, and 1,000 insects. A stray tortoise-shell cat with a weeping eye sometimes stares through the grubby kitchen window at nothing in particular. Burglars bypass the house. The neighbours tut-tut at the overgrown, weed-ridden front garden, but that's all they'll ever do about it. A dead pup lay there for weeks before eventually being removed. There's a small shed out the back that contains a box full of provincial newspapers and another with some Christmas lights missing a plug. Passing teenagers once threw some eggs at the upstairs window, and the remnants of the attack remains there. In the corner of the sitting room is a cabinet that holds a collection of videocassettes, each one labelled, except for a few untitled ominous ones. A fading, weather-beaten neighbourhood watch sticker on the window will soon become colourless and unreadable. On the walls leading up the stairway hang a small collection of framed photos of miscellaneous people who may be family, may be friends, or possibly neither. The house sometimes creaks and groans, but there's nobody around to hear it complain. There's a small room with a locked door off the hallway that's so cold and dank that even a ghost wouldn't find it habitable. A smell of urine and damp domestic animal comes from a mat by the front door. A selection of pinstripe suits and floral dresses hang in the bedroom wardrobe, the types of which you see in local charity shops. There's a telephone still plugged in, but it hasn't rang in years. A half-open wallet lays on the floor next to the bed, as if tossed there in anger. It contains a small amount of currency that's no longer in use, and vouchers for a shop that burnt to the ground a long time ago. Butterflies sometimes gather in the dark corner of the utility room. Long and thick cobwebs dangle from the ceiling and seem to constantly sway, even without a draft. Sometimes an involuntary spurt of discoloured water leaks from a tap in the bathroom sink. A postcard sent by a long since deceased relative from a hot and dusty location is the most colourful thing on the mantelpiece. The batteries in the back of the clock have leaked out an acrid smelling substance that trails on the wall. A dried up and withered plant by the kitchen window never stood a chance. A few times over the years a for sale sign appeared in the front garden, only to quickly disappear each time. There's a bookshelf with a dozen or so wrinkled novels, an atlas, and a collection of encyclopedias at the bottom that were probably a luxury purchase at the time. The misshapen massive gloop by the kitchen sink was once a bar of soap. A couple of half-used children's colouring books at the bottom of the press lend a puzzling air to things. 3 generations of mice have occupied the wall. The calendar is 2 decades old. There's an attic full of bad memories. Coins, pens and squash cigarettes remain hidden down the back of the musty couch. The box bedroom's wall remains half painted, the remnant of an unfinished job left in the middle of the floor. A bird once made its way into the attic but couldn't get out and eventually perished up there. It squawks and chirps, becoming nothing more than pitiful squeaks and cries. A large painting of Jesus, his arms outstretched and his eyes forgiving, looks downward as if awaiting the return of somebody. A never retrieved child's football lays deflated amongst the overgrown grass in the back garden. The face of Mickey Mouse now shrunken into a mass of misshapen wrinkles. Weeds sprout out of cracks in the broken concrete that was once a driveway. An overwhelming stench of oil comes from the shed. There's a driver licence in a drawer with a photo ripped out next to a pile of signed medical certificates. Someone built this house. Someone lived in this house. But what nobody knows for sure is whether anybody will miss this house when it's eventually flattened to the ground, becoming nothing but rubble. Okay, thanks very much for listening and watching, and I'll have some more videos up soon. Bye.